Yo guys, what's going on? A few days ago, we did a video here. Where is it? Right here. Tom Aspinall is angry. No more respect for Jon Jones. And in that video, I talked about what Tom Aspinall needs to do to get this Jon Jones fight. And I'm going to give myself a little bit of credit. I didn't really see anyone else take that angle at the time of me bringing that video out. What I said in that video is that Tom Aspinall, if he wants to get this Jon Jones fight, doing all these skits towards Jon Jones, these light-hearted skits on his Instagram, they're good, but they're not going to get him the fight. With Jon Jones, you've got to fight his ego. You've got to make Jon Jones feel disrespected. You've got to get him invested in wanting to destroy you. He wants the ego battle. This whole Stipe Miocic fight being a respect fight, as Dana White called it, it's not. It's just an easy payday for Jon Jones. It's not a respect fight at all. Jon Jones wants to obliterate people. That's when he's always been at his most motivated. And now what we're seeing over the last few days is everyone is taking this narrative that you have got to fight Jon Jones ego to ego. You've got to make Jon Jones feel disrespected. And that's what we're going to cover in today's video. But before we do, Tom Aspinall did this interview and Jon Jones left a comment underneath the video. It's since been deleted, but we've got the screenshots. So let's just take a little listen to the interview first, and then we'll look at Jon Jones's comments. Also, for daily MMA, boxing, fighting content in general, subscribe for daily uploads and like this video if you're a fan of the content. Also, we're going live on this channel tomorrow for the Misfits card. Quick point on that, some people will say, Shaun, why do you cover that trash? Not everything needs to be super serious, you know. I watch it for what it is, which is a train wreck, and that's why I enjoy it. We covered everything here on this channel. Anyway, let's jump into this interview.
Who is the champion of trash talk?
I think Conor McGregor.
Champion of the walkout?
Paddy Pimblett is quite good. I mean, it's fresh in my mind because, you know, a few days ago, I do think he's quite good, yeah.
Champion of hard work?
I think any champion works very, very hard. I know what it takes to work that hard. It's ruthless, but I think...
Say me, Tom. Say me.
In my opinion, it ain't just about hard work. It's about being smart as well with the way you work. Everybody work. It's easy to work hard. Any idiot can work hard. But GSP is the smartest ever to do MMA.
Champion
Oh, I like that respect there, Tom. That was nice.
of aura?
I'd say Alex Pereira's up there.
Yeah.
I think so.
Champion of fight dodging?
Fight dodging?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd have to be Jon Jones, wouldn't it?
Ooh.
We know he's trying to fight old man Stipe. Yeah. Well, he's gonna fight old man Stipe, so that's he's the fight dodger around here.
Hopefully he doesn't dodge it against you.
Oh well, he's gonna. He's definitely gonna.
Let's go, Tom. Let's go. Big shout out to Sport Bible KO here for asking that loaded question. They knew what answer Tom Aspinall was going to give, but this is the direction that Tom Aspinall needs to take. He needs to be a bit more disrespectful. Now, Jon Jones commented. You can see people right here saying, did Jon delete his comment? Jon Jones commented, dead emoji times 10. Everybody put dead emojis in the chat. So this is what Jon Jones commented on that interview post. This dude literally has my large black what in his mouth every week. I'm flattered. I absolutely guarantee he will not win more world championships than me. But we're not talking about that, Jon. We're talking about the fact that you were the undisputed champion. Tom Aspinall is the interim champion. Usually, you would unify and figure out who the real champion is. That's why people are saying that you're ducking and dodging this fight. No one's claiming that Tom Aspinall's going to be a better fighter than you. Okay, well, maybe Tom Aspinall's saying that. Maybe there are a few people saying that. But the overall narrative around all this situation is just the fact that you're not taking the fight with the interim title holder and you're doing instead this respect fight. Now, before anyone goes off on me and starts DMing me saying, Shaun, you hate Jon Jones because he's black, I literally got a DM today on Instagram off someone saying, you're just another white person who hates Jon Jones because he's black. Absolute race-baiting victims, whatever. But I covered this video the other day, the Dana White video, the Dana White interview, and I actually sided with Dana White's arguments to a certain extent. And although I want Tom Aspinall to fight Jon Jones, I can see what Dana White's saying. What are we going to do with Stipe? Just say F off Stipe and throw him to the curb. It's Stipe's last fight. Both sides of the argument can be right. So Jones said, I absolutely guarantee he will not win more world championships than me. That's truly all that matters at the end of the day. There's been many champions, no one like me. I sleep good at night. You can hear the ego coming through. And then Tom Aspinall actually responded to this. John's right, he's won so many more world championships than me while using PEDs. And say what you like, there is that asterisk next to John Jones's name about the PED usage. As soon as USADA came in and started putting the foot down, John Jones's performances kind of turned to crap. Started struggling against Dominic Reyes, Thiago Santos, Anthony Smith. And the way I like to think about the PED side of things, the steroid accusations, let's think about this logically. Let's look at John Jones's character. Is he the type of person who would lie about steroid use? Well, is he the type of person that would lie in other aspects of his life? Yeah. He's lied so many more times. What type of character has John Jones got? What type of values has he got? I mean, he talks like he's this born-again Christian, but then he's always in trouble with the law. He's smacking his wife around left, right and centre. He's crashing into pregnant women, then fleeing the scene. John Jones makes it incredibly difficult to be his fan because he's always doing something wrong. Kind of like McGregor a little bit. So that type of person, like Jones, always in trouble with the law, always drama and chaos surrounding his life. Is that the type of person who would potentially lie about steroid use? Yeah, I personally think so anyway. So that's my opinion on the whole steroid thing. And then this was from an hour ago. So this is what John Jones tweeted. Bro, absolutely, I'm getting close to being in fight shape and I'm weighing in at 245 now. He probably cuts weight to get down to heavyweight. The night we fight, he will probably weigh a solid 25 pounds more than me, 7 years younger, and I will still whip his ass like I've done with everyone else. You guys can go ahead and believe the hype. I'll keep doing what I've always done, win. Maybe I'll leave you with blue balls, but my legacy will be just fine. I've done way too much work in this game. There's people around the world that's been watching me fight since they can remember. He would have to go on and win like 10 championships at least in order for that to happen. The work I put in, the body of work ain't getting touched no time soon. But John Jones, he is arguing a different argument. He's talking about legacy, and Tom Aspinall's not going to achieve anything close to what I've achieved, but Tom Aspinall's not arguing that. What Tom's saying is that you're the undisputed champion, I'm the interim champion, let's unify and see who the baddest man on the planet really is. We all seen the Dana White video the other day, proper glazing John Jones, although he has got a point. What's he going to do with Stipe? Just tell him to do one. You know, it's a bit of a difficult situation that Dana White is in, and I feel like I'm the only one really saying that in the MMA space right now. I don't watch too many MMA YouTubers, but I don't know, I feel like everyone takes the stance of F Dana White, John Jones is ducking, and it's that clear cut and simple, whereas I don't mind looking at the grey area and going, I can see the points, I can see the arguments for both sides. Well, MMA World posted this footage of Dana White arguing with Ariel Helwani on how the pound for pound rankings should work. So in this video, Ariel Helwani is arguing that Fedor Emelianenko is a better fighter pound for pound than Anderson Silva.
He's never lost.
He's never lost.
In his career.
Since he's come back, since the Pride days. Listen, if he was still fighting the caliber of fights from the Pride days, I wouldn't argue with you one bit.
Right.
He is so far from being the
Where
best.
do you have him?
Huh?
Would you put him top 5?
He hasn't fought anybody. The thing that you have to understand is if you take a guy like
He's never lost, ever.
Anderson Silva, George St. Pierre, BJ Penn, any of the guys that are in the top tier in the heavyweight, they're fighting the best fighters in the world 3 times a year.
That's why I think GSP, when he's been tested with Finch.
Well, you just said, well, Anderson Silva was hurt, he's been out. GSP was just hurt now for a while too.
Yeah, but
So Ariel Helwani is saying Fedor is unbeaten, undefeated. Dana White is dismissing that as a point, but that's one of Dana White's main points as to why John Jones is number 1 pound for pound. John Jones, yeah, he did go through murderer's row years and years and years ago.
This guy hasn't lost. He just broke the record for most wins in the UFC, for most title defenses. He's got, he's moving up and down in 2 different weight classes. Do you think George St. Pierre could go up to 80? I don't even want St. Pierre to go to 85.
Why not?
Because he's a huge star, and I don't want to see him go to 85. He's doing just fine at 170. Anderson Silva, I believe he can go to 85 and could compete at heavyweight too. He's that fast, that talented, and that good.
He is.
Pound for pound, best fighter
Anderson Silva going to heavyweight. Now that's a little bit mental.
in the world. Boxing, pinochle, any other fighting sport out there, he's the best. I don't know how anybody can debate that. It's crazy to me.
What's the GSP fight?
And anybody to put Fedor in the number 1 pound for pound in the world spot, it just makes no sense to me.
It has nothing to do with the politics of him not being in the UFC or whatnot. I think.
But how can you give him the respect when he hasn't fought the guys? I mean, these guys are fighting 3 times a year, the best fighters in the world, but you're going to give him the respect? Makes no sense.
I think it does. Absolutely makes no sense. Because also, I don't consider, like, in the middleweight division right now, like, yes, okay, Silva went out to fight James Irvin. The Forrest Griffin thing was one of the most amazing, spectacles I've ever seen.
We have it in slow motion where he slips.
Yeah, he only landed one touch.
Slips his right hand, goes away from the hook, and then throws. Who the does that?
But I don't think Silva.
Nobody does that.
Like, I mean, it's 1A, 1B, 1C. I'm not saying there's a huge discrepancy in the guys, but I look at these little factors.
There's no doubt. George St. Pierre is the number 2 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I think Anderson Silva's number 1. I'm just going crazy on you because you got Fedor number 1, and you got Anderson Silva number 3. That's crazy.
I actually disagree with Ariel Helwani there in terms of Fedor Emelianenko being the pound-for-pound number 1. He didn't really fight anyone notable in his last 10 fights. Now, Fedor did have the activity there, so by Dana's standards, yeah, he's definitely up there. But Anderson Silva had the activity as well as the level of competition. So Dana's making the argument that who Anderson Silva was beating and how many fights he was having a year is the reason why he's the number 1 pound for pound in the world, which by Dana White's own logic, we apply that to John Jones. Yeah, that makes sense, like 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. But pound for pound number 1 now? Definitely not. By Dana's own logic, really, we're talking about Alex Pereira being number 1. And then this guy tweeted, with Dana White's pay-per-view rankings being a hot topic, it's interesting to look back in this 2010 debate with Ariel Helwani. 2010, wow. Dana's reasons for ranking Anderson Silva as number 1 included Silva's activity against top competition, his success at 185, his success at 205, and potential success at heavyweight. In a separate interview at UFC 116, just weeks after that debate, Dana reiterated that the best fighters in the world are the ones who fight the best 3 times a year. And then Ariel responded to that tweet saying, good call, activity, movement, and wins. He said it himself 14 years ago, which is why I have Pereira number 1. You can't really argue with that, to be fair. And we'll just end with this. This is from Daniel Cormier's channel, and DC pretty much spends the entire video kind of reiterating what I was saying in the Tom Aspinall video about the fact that, the skits are good, but he really needs to try and hurt John Jones's ego. He needs to make John Jones feel disrespected. Here's a little snippet.
But I believe also, ultimately, right now, Tom Aspinall, while poking and prodding, finally has touched on the thing that will ultimately make John Jones go, my God, I cannot stand this dude. I need to deal with him.
Yeah.
Because when you accuse him of that, that's where he gets worked up. And at the end of the day, and it's not me, John doesn't live rent-free in my head. John doesn't do this. John doesn't do. At the end of the day, that's something valid to touch on, because at the end of the day, he was accused and proven that he did those things.
So DC means John Jones popping for steroids there, and he's saying Tom Aspinall needs to latch onto that and go at John Jones with that. I don't think playing buddy-buddy with John Jones is really going to get you anywhere. Now, it's all well and good, but once again, John Jones is still talking about retiring after this fight. So I think, really, if Tom Aspinall wants even a smidget of a chance of this fight happening, he needs to go hard. Pardon? No, did he? But he needs to go heavy. He needs to really attack John Jones where it hurts. Do those skits, but take it up a notch. Go more personal with it, as I said last week. Bring up the steroids more, Tom. Bring up the substance abuse. Oh, damn, getting a bit touchy. Bring up the domestic abuse. I know Tom's a nice guy. The chances of him doing all this is fairly slim. You're kind of getting a bit low and a bit dark with it all, but it's public knowledge, and I think that's the only way Tom's got a chance of getting this fight. But the fact that John Jones is commenting this on interviews of Tom Aspinall, you know that this narrative is getting under John Jones's skin. You need to piss him off. And also, Jones has got a history of bringing up the size of his PP. He did it on the Joe Rogan podcast all those years ago, saying the reason why he needed Cialis is because he's got a big one and he can't get it up without it. I think people who do that are overcompensating. Maybe you have, or maybe you're just really insecure in other areas of your life and you need to use that as your only saving grace thing about you. Okay, I'm a piece of crap. I'm a drug addict. I'm a low life. I'm a woman beater. Hey, but I've got a big dick though. I'm a man, me. I'm a man. Big dick, you know what I'm saying? I'm a man. Something that you can't control. I'm just saying. What do you guys think about all this? Comment your thoughts down below. Remember, we're going live tomorrow. I've also got a fitness channel. You can check that out. I've also got a fitness app, which is absolutely incredible. And it's the only thing that I actually stand by enough to push it on this channel in every single video. Right, I'll see you for the live tomorrow. Peace out.